So you might have noticed that I haven't posted anything in 2 months. During that time, I've been focusing on a few particular areas in my life, techniques rather, and I want to share them with you. I'm going to be making individual videos on each, but I just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek so you know what I have in store. The first concept I've been focusing on is the Hedgehog Concept. You see, in every great business, there is one characteristic that is the driving force behind its success. Google, for example, allows people to access a lot of information quite easily, whereas WhatsApp provides a fast and efficient way of communicating. It's just as convenient as text messaging, but offers even more than that. Finding the Hedgehog Concept isn't that easy. But once we do have it, we will have a clear idea on how to improve our business, or whatever it is we want to improve on. For example, if Google's Hedgehog Concept is having access to a lot of information, they'll know that everything they do from then on should be focused on that. If someone suggests creating a Google restaurant, they can easily reject that idea because it's not in line with their Hedgehog Concept. Google is actually not such a great example since it's a big company with resources in many different sectors, so a Google restaurant might actually do well. But the benefits of the Hedgehog Concept is still there because they would probably make more money if they used their resources to create something in line with their Hedgehog Concept as opposed to making a restaurant. The second thing I've been focusing on is the compound effect, or the slight edge, or rinsing your cottage cheese. Different people call it different names, but they all describe the same thing. Have you ever been on a healthy diet and then you see a muffin? You tell yourself it's just one muffin, you won't gain 5 pounds from it, so you end up eating it. Or perhaps you're not fat and you never think like that, but whenever you're faced with a decision, there are always 2 types of choices. One that brings you closer towards your goal, and one that brings you further away from it. Nothing will make you gain 5 pounds. But the result is the accumulation of all the small choices we make. So now I try to always make the better choice. It's not an easy thing to do. At first, it may seem like a never-ending battle, like every time you see that muffin or those McDonald's fries, you'd be tempted to eat it. The reason why it's an internal struggle every time we're faced with that decision is because we didn't set a rule for ourselves. A couple of years ago, I told myself that whenever I'm faced with a decision of 2 things to eat, I will always pick the healthier option. And once we set that rule for ourselves, it's no longer hard. When you're asked whether you want fries or a baked potato, you won't even hear the word fries. Understand that our successes are a combination of all these little decisions we make each day. The third technique is becoming aware of how we spend our time. This stems off the last point where our successes in life is a result of the things we do every day, every hour, every second of the day. For example, I noticed that lately I've been spending a lot of time cooking. I'd usually have 5 meals a day, so that's approximately an hour and a half of cooking each day. So I came up with a solution. I started to cook 2 meals at once. That way I could just heat up the food later or just eat it cold. That cuts about half an hour out of my total time, so I spend an hour each day now instead of an hour and a half. In a week, that half hour becomes 3.5 hours, and 3.5 hours is a pretty big deal. Cooking was just a real-life example where I use a strategy, but it could be used for practically anything we spend our time on. Those were a few of the things I've been focusing on the past 2 months. I've reassessed my Hedgehog concept for this YouTube channel, so expect a bunch more videos in the near future. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.